Imagine walking into a dimly lit room and seeing two men locked in a chess game. There's no blood, no violence, not even raised voices. But look closer, and you'll see one of the most quietly ruthless battles ever captured in paint. Honoré Daumier's The Chess Players is a masterclass in psychological storytelling. Daumier wasn't a polite academic painter. He was a satirist, a caricaturist, a critic of society who used his art to expose human weakness. And in this painting, he didn't need grand history or mythology to tell a dramatic story. He used something much simpler: 2 men, 1 board, 32 pieces. The first thing you notice is the light. It's dim, directional, almost theatrical. It pools around the table and the players' faces, leaving the rest in deep shadow. This isn't a cosy game in a parlour. It's an interrogation room. The table is the arena, the board the battleground, and the faces of the players, masks. Look at them carefully. The older man is slumped forward, eyebrows knitted, mouth set in a grim line. He's deep in thought, or perhaps desperation. The younger man leans back, relaxed, one eyebrow slightly raised. He's in control. The whole composition tilts subtly in his favour. But Daumier doesn't stop there. Notice the older man's hand, hovering over the board, fingers half curled. He hasn't moved yet. He can't decide. The tension is paralysing. It's not just a game for him. It's his pride, his ego, maybe even his identity at stake. Meanwhile, the younger opponent is the picture of quiet triumph. He doesn't even need to look at the board anymore. His strategy is done. He's simply waiting for the other man to realise he's lost. It's brutal in its calmness. And then there's the setting itself. Bare walls. A rough, simple table. No distractions. It's claustrophobic. There's nowhere for the older man to escape, no social niceties to hide behind. This isn't about playing for fun. It's about domination. Daumier's genius is in turning a quiet moment into a psychological thriller. He forces us to read the faces, the gestures, the space between the two men. He paints silence as loud as a scream. And this is where Daumier's background matters. He spent decades skewering the powerful with savage caricatures in newspapers. He went to prison for it. He wasn't just an artist, he was a social critic. The Chess Players is no innocent genre scene. It's a metaphor for the power games of 19th century society. Think about Paris in Daumier's time. Political upheavals, revolutions, shifting regimes. People constantly scheming for power, trying to outmaneuver each other, hiding their real intentions behind polite conversation and strategy. The chessboard is society itself. And Daumier doesn't give us a moral victory. There's no hero here. Just one man outthinking another. Winning isn't shown as noble, it's shown as inevitable, even predatory. Look again at the older man's eyes. There's no anger, just dread. He sees the trap but can't escape it. That's Daumier's world in a nutshell. A place where wit and strategy are weapons, where the weak get cornered slowly, politely but completely. Even the style of the painting supports this. It's not glossy or idealised. Daumier's brushwork is rough, direct. The colours are muddy, shadowy. He isn't flattering anyone. He wants us to feel the weight of the air in that room, the sweat on the older man's brow. Now let's talk about the symbolism of chess itself. For centuries, artists have used chess as a stand-in for politics, war, love, even philosophy. In medieval art, chess was a courtly pastime symbolising refinement and strategy. In the Enlightenment, it became a symbol of rationality and intelligence. But Daumier strips all that away. There's nothing elegant here. The game is cruel. The players aren't equals enjoying a test of wits. One is already defeated and both know it. The glamour of chess is replaced with psychological realism. That's part of what makes the chess players so unsettling. We recognize ourselves in it. Who hasn't felt that creeping dread when you realize you're losing, not just at a game, but in life? Who hasn't seen someone waiting for you to fail, quietly enjoying your downfall? Daumier doesn't judge his subjects. He just shows them. The painting doesn't moralize. It observes. And in that cold observation lies its power. Another detail that's easy to miss is the placement of the pieces on the board. Daumier doesn't give us an abstract pattern of pieces. He actually paints them in mid-game positions. If you study them, you see that the older man's options are severely limited. His king is exposed. The checkmate is almost inevitable. It's not just symbolic defeat. It's real, calculated, deliberate. Some art historians believe this painting is Daumier's subtle critique of the bourgeoisie, men who prided themselves on intellect and strategy, while ignoring the human cost of their power games. Others see it as a deeply personal statement about aging, the loss of mental agility, the humiliation of defeat. And there's one last thing to consider. Daumier painted multiple versions of this scene. He was obsessed with it. He returned to it over and over, tweaking the composition, changing the expressions. Why? Because he knew this wasn't just a scene, it was a truth about human nature. We're all chess players, he seems to say. We're all either making the winning move or waiting for the other person to strike. Society is the board. Our egos are the pieces. And no matter how polite the game seems, someone always loses. That's why The Chess Players is more than just a painting of a game. It's a psychological drama, a social critique, and a mirror held up to the quiet battles we fight every day. So next time you see it, don't just glance at the board. Look at the hands, the faces, the space between them. Listen to the silence. And ask yourself, who's winning? Who's losing? And what would you do if you were the one about to make the final move?